Hello, friends, welcome you all. Today we are going to discuss and study the sector analysis. We have seen and discussed in the last few lectures about the company analysis. Now we are going to move forward. That is, we are going to study the sector analysis now. Before investing, investors do company analysis, then sector analysis, industry analysis. So these are important part of analysis, which is qualitative analysis in the fundamental analysis. We can say quantitative also. So these are this is the approach we are studying. That is the bottom up approach. Means we have discussed the company analysis. Now we are going to discuss the sector analysis and then industry analysis, and the next part obviously comes the analyzing the overall economy, but that is the next part. So today we are going to focus the sector analysis only. The point of discussions are what is the sector analysis, then what is industry analysis, difference between sector and industry analysis. Then we are also going to discuss the importance of analysis, advantages of sector and industry analysis, and disadvantages of sector and industry analysis, and the in a summarized form we will discuss what we have studied. So friends, let us start with a formal introduction. Investors generally assess the economic and financial prospects of any sector first before finalizing the industry analysis for any investment related decisions. Investors are those who invest for a long term, so they do the analysis of economic and financial analysis and the future prospect of the sector, that particular sector, before investing and before taking the investment related decisions. For example, take the example of a chemical sector. So if one wants to invest in in this particular sector, then investor or he or she needs to find out whether agrochemical or specially chemicals or dyes or pigments or industrial chemical industry is better investment bet, where to invest. So that is the question, and uh, which sector will grow in the next coming years, and which sector have the prospect and future. So they will analyze, they will take the decision then and then only if they do the sector analysis. An industry is defined as a portion of the sector where more specific group of business is defined. So what is industry? Industry is the portion of the sector. Means if chemical industry is there, then some similar type of businesses are there, so that is called industry. uh, we have studied that the oligopoly market, so we can say that the industry where the few companies belong of a similar type, and the decisions taken by each other affect the other competitors. So like that, industry is the same type of businesses, and sector is um, the industry is the component of the sector, and sector is where more specific group of business industries where more specific group of businesses are defined. So what is the sector analysis? Sector analysis is assessing the economic and financial condition of a given sector of the economy, and it is termed as sector analysis. So sector is defined as a large segment of the economy, and the industry we can define a portion of the sector. Suppose there are so many sectors such as FMCG sector, that is fast moving consumable goods sector. Then IT sector is there, banking sector is there, finance, banking and finance is there, automobiles is there. Then so many sectors are there. So here, suppose we take the fast moving consumable goods, that is FMCG. This sector is the fourth largest sector of the Indian economy. Under FMCG sector, industries that dominate the market today are detergents. So these are the industries in FMCG sector. Detergents are there, then toiletries are there, tooth cleaning products are there, cosmetics industry is there. So Dower company is an example dealing with all these industry in this sector. Hindustan Unilever is there, then ITC is there. So these are the uh, companies, different companies which belong to different industries, but under the FMCG sector, fast moving consumer goods sector. Suppose the FMCG sector includes household and personal products industries, leather industries, packaging, consumer goods, soaps, tobacco, etc. So sector is a broader concept and industry belong to the sector. What is the industry analysis? We must understand the difference between sector analysis and industry analysis. So, what is the industry analysis? Industry analysis is a market assessment tool which is used by businesses, investors sometimes, and analysts also to understand the competitive dynamics of an industry by giving them a sense of what is happening in that particular industry. So industries in the FMCG sector, we can say that healthcare industry is there, health supplements is there, oral care, digestive, skin care, OTC and ethicals, home care, etc. So under the FMCG sector, there are so many industries. So let us start with the what is the sector analysis in a formal way. Sector analysis is assessing the economic and financial condition of a given sector of the economy. It is termed as a sector analysis. So it provides an investor with a judgment about how efficiently companies in that particular sector can perform in the future, or what is the prospect for them. It also helps in picking some underperformance also, which companies are performing well, which companies are underperforming, which have got the which are earning a good profit, which are running in the losses, for which industry the products have the future prospects. For example, in the automobile industries, those companies, those firms which are producing electrical vehicle, they have good prospect in the future. Like that we can analyze that, the we can find out the underperformance, performers, and well performance also. Sector analysis is based on the assumption that during different stages of business cycle, certain sector perform better and certain sector underperforms. So the business cycle is comprised of expansion, which are period of economic growth, prosperity, and contraction or recession, which are the periods of economic decline. So under these business cycles, how, suppose take the example of the COVID-19 situation, which companies performed well in this slowdown or economic downturn? That is the pharma sector. Because of the pharma sectors, companies performed well because the huge demand boosted by the COVID-19 virus, the for demand for the medicals, demand for the medical equipment, etc. You know all these things. During the expansion phase, investor or analyst who do a sector analysis would focus their research on companies then if that benefit from low interest rate and increased capex. For example, companies in the financial and consumer discretionary sector performs increases during the period of economic growth. When the economy contracts or decreases and growth slows, investors and analysts will turn their attention to research defensive sector such as utilities and telecommunication services, as these sectors often outperform during economic downturn because the necessity of such goods, the generally the fast moving consumable goods get the less affected by the downturn because some goods and services are essential in any situation for humankind. So that is why the FMCG sector can, so like that, in which condition of the economy which sectors can perform well and which sector underperform. So sector analysis can find out the solution and the answer for these type of questions. During the expansion phase, when let us understand with a particular example. We are taking FMCG sector, under which we will be studying about Dabur Limited, management and discussion analysis of Dabur Limited annual report 20 states the following with respect to the FMCG sector analysis. So this sector analysis done by the Dabur company, they have mentioned that the fast moving consumer goods sector is the fourth largest sector of the Indian economy. During financial year 2019-20, the sector witnessed growth of 7.2% as per AC Nielsen, which is almost half of the 14% growth reported in the 2018-19. Uh, the sector saw a sharp slowdown during the year of on account of moderation in economic activity, low farm income and weak rural wage growth, liquidity crunch in the system, high unemployment level and down trading across categories. By March 2020, the sectoral growth dropped to 3.3% in value terms and 0.5% in volume terms. The coronavirus pandemic has further impacted the sector since March 2020 due to restrictions on the movement of goods, supply side bottlenecks, and impact on consumption. Consumers have been stocking up essential products such as packaged foods, staples, tea, coffee, milk, detergents, and other products of daily uses. During this phase, demand has also surged for health and hygienic products as these aspects came into sharp focus. So there was a surge and boost in the demand for hygiene products like sanitizers and disinfectants, in addition to the immunity building over the counter and healthcare products also. However, discretionary and non-essential items have seen weak demand as the focus during the lockdown has been on the food and hygiene. So this is the sector analysis done by the Dabur company, and they have mentioned the which why the some companies have performed well, why some companies underperformed, how was the demand, how was the growth rate, etc. There is one approach that is called pest analysis. Pest analysis means it is a broad factors. So broad factors analysis, also commonly called the pest analysis, stands for P for political, E for economics, S for social, and T for technological. So pest analysis is useful framework for analyzing the external environment um, in the economy which is going on. For example, if political change is there in America, USA, political power shifting is there. So the it impacts the economy also. Economic downturn also impact the overall performance of the sector. For example, coronavirus created such a um, uh, panic situation, and many industries got the shock and setback by this virus, the situation created by this virus. Then technological changes are there. For example, take the example of now electrical vehicles are coming, so the technology should be changed to adopt the new technology. Socio-demographic structure is there. So the demand socio-demographic structure, the characteristics of populations, and the formation of society, the changes in the society, fashion, taste, preferences, the age groups. So all these socio-demographic factors which also impact the demand and supply conditions. So these broad factors we can discuss. They have the four components. The political factors that impact an industry include specific policies, regulations related to things like taxes, environmental regulation, tariffs are there, trade policies, labor laws, ease of doing business, and overall political stability. Second factor is economic. The economic forces that have an impact include inflation, exchange rate, interest rate, GDP growth rate, conditions in the capital market, ability to access capital, etc. A third factor we can say that social. The social impact on an industry refers to trends among people and includes things such as population growth, demographics, age, gender, etc. And trends in behavior such as health, fashion, and social movements also. Fourth factor includes the technological aspects of pest analysis, such as advancement and development that change the way of business operates and the way in which people live their lives, the advent of internet, advent of new technology, expiry of the old technology, the consumer taste, and according to that the changes in the preferences. So all these come under the technological factor. What are the advantages of sector analysis? The report that is prepared under industry and sector analysis helps to assess the future prospect of the company, future coming prospects of that particular sector we get from the sector analysis. Both the analysis, that is industry and sector analysis, helps to forecast the action taken by the political competitors, and according to that what the particular firm or company will take the action. With the help of analysis, sector analysis report, we are able to recognize and identify strategies that will improve the effectiveness of that particular sector as well as industry. They are the tool to develop a competitive strategy that will act as the best defense against potential competitors. One sector can have various industries under them. For example, auto sector might have many industries like casting, foregoing, auto ancillary, battery, etc. Thus, a sector analysis will help to understand which industry from this sector will likely to outperform, and which industry or which part of that automobile industry will underperform. So during the this pandemic situation, automobile sector got the setback and the growth in the automobile sector decreased. This sector analysis gives us the picture in the future and prospect in the future. Since they have advantages, they even have certain limitations as well. So, which should be kept in mind while performing this analysis? What are the disadvantages of the sector analysis? Seasonal factors have a direct impact on the purchase and sell pattern of the companies and industry also. For example, take the example of a pandemic situation created by coronavirus. In that particular situation, the demand for pharma products increased so high, so it boosted actually health and hygienic and the medical equipments, medical the immunity boosting medicals, etc. This is the seasonal impact, and sector analysis capture the seasonal impact. They have the direct impact on the particular demand and supply, and in that case, these factors are not considered, then it may act as a limitation in a report or in a sector analysis. If in any year any economic or macro headwind like corona occurs, then the industry may behave against the analysis. So something which is extraordinary happens, then this analysis will go wrong. The sector and industry analysis is subjective. It is depend on person to person and does not guarantee success, but knowing the sector first and then finalizing the industry may also not play out well, and there one might have to do a bottom up analysis. So bottom up analysis means going from the a particular company to sector in industry sector and then whole economy. That is analyzing industry first and then sector. There are some limitations or disadvantages of the sector analysis. In a conclusion, we can say that from the above expert taken from the annual report of Dabur Limited, we get an idea about the particular sector growth 7.2% in the year 1920 as compared to 14% in the last year. So while doing the sector analysis, we get to know about the future outlook of the particular sector or the particular industry. The extract, we can say that according to Nielsen, that is who is the analyst of this the FMCG sector, the effect of the disruptions caused by COVID-19 would linger on the rest of the year, prompting the market researcher to slash its 2020 growth outlook for India's FMCG sector to 5 to 6% from its earlier projection of 9 to 10%. It further stated and said that the long-term effect of the pandemic will have a widespread impact in the months to come. However, the FMCG sector is one of those which will be less impacted than others, as demand for consumer staples is expected to revive as the situation begins to normalize. So friends, like that we can draw the conclusions from the sector analysis, and we get the future outlook prospects of particular sector by analyzing all the factors related to that sector. So in a summarized form, we can say that sector analysis is nothing but analyzing all the factors which will impact in the future and have impacted in the past on that particular sector, and the demand and supply and all other factors which are affected by these um, factors, future factors, and past factors. So sector analysis is overall study of all these factors which will affect the future and affected the past um, of a particular sector. So friends, that is from my side in this today's lecture. Thanks for watching. Write your comment in the comment box, and if you have any problem questions, then you can write, call and message me. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lecture.